Sometimes I'll be thinking of what to make an upcoming video about, and it'll take ages and ages for me just to decide on one topic. I have so many ideas in that big brain of mine, but often they'll be too short or too basic to make videos about. So for this video, I decided to tell 3 short but sweet stories about me being a bit of a dummy. Enjoy! When I was about 3, around Christmas time, me and my family went to visit my father's family in the UK. As you probably know, England temperatures can get quite frigid during the winter, and I was staying at my aunt and uncle's house. My aunt and uncle have quite the large backyard, and I was outside playing around in the snow when my little eyes wandered over to their pond. It was completely frozen over, and apparently a frozen pond was just so cool to 3-year-old me that I dropped whatever I was doing to go and check it out. Now, a smart little boy would have maybe, I don't know, tested the ice with a stick or something before attempting to do what I did next. But if I had been smart, I would not be here telling you this story right now. I looked at the ice and with as much strength as my stubby little legs could muster, leapt straight into the pond. You can probably guess what happened next. Moments later, I was being pulled soaking wet out of the ice water. Not really my proudest moment. I shed a few tears, had a warm bath, and stayed inside for the rest of the day. It was pretty unpleasant, although I think the creatures that suffered the most that day were actually the fish that I crushed as I fell. Sorry, fellas. This one is the most recent story. Happened a little over a month ago, I'm slightly embarrassed to say. I was getting ready for school, absent-mindedly playing with a large wad of silly putty, because who doesn't love silly putty, am I right? I had some breakfast, brushed my teeth, and I guess I was just having too much fun with that silly putty because when I hopped in the shower, I kept a hold of it. What's the worst that could happen, huh? Well, I was about to answer my own question when I had the great idea of putting the putty and the soap in the same hand and then scrubbing away at my armpit. Suffice to say, I now had quite a problem on my hands. The silly putty was caught in my luscious armpit hair. I tugged and I tugged, but it just didn't want to come out. I scrambled out of the shower and desperately attempted to cut it out with scissors. It kind of worked, but there was still quite a lot of it left, and there wasn't enough time for me to pick it out or shave it out before school started. I had no choice but to keep it in there and leave for school. So here's where it gets interesting. It was below 0 degrees out, and I biked to school usually, meaning, you guessed it, the silly putty froze about halfway through my journey, and for the rest of the day, I had to uncomfortably walk around with frozen silly putty glued to my armpit. Yeah, not very smart. Third and final story. This one is by far the worst in my opinion. It happened when I was about 7 or 8, maybe? I had just visited my mother's family in New Zealand for Christmas. Yeah, my parents were from opposite ends of the globe. Cool, huh? And I had received quite the amount of presents. I got a lot of great ones, but my grandma had given me these rubber balloon animals which you could blow up and kick around, and I was having a lot of fun with those. I had a tiger and an elephant, and I think maybe a crocodile? Anywho, I was very excited with these presents, and I would not stop talking about them. Unfortunately, Christmas is over before we knew it. We said our goodbyes, went to the airport, got on the plane, and a day later, me and my family were back in our native airport. We were finally arriving at immigration, and the officer running the booth was asking us for our passports and identification and such. And that's when the awful idea popped in my head. Now me, being the witty youngster I was, decided to crack one of my trademark jokes. So I said, we have something that blows up. Of course, referring to my animal balloons. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself,
You must be kidding, aren't you?
But nope, that is actually what I said. It is a miracle they did not question us further, and my parents managed to smooth the whole thing over by explaining to the guy what I was talking about. But don't worry, I was severely lectured when I got home, safely away from airport security staff. So yeah. That was 3 slightly embarrassing stories from my childhood. Hope you liked the vid, and I guess I'll see you guys next time. Wowee, has it been a long time, folks? Hi everyone, I'm back, you know. I always joke about how long it takes me to make videos, but this time it's been, 3 months? Wow. And unfortunately, I don't really have an excuse. It's just I'm very lazy, so I'm really sorry about that. I'll try my best to have the next one out faster, obviously, than this one. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Hope you guys have yourselves a good day, good night, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.